Hello, friends. Imagine what the Earth looked like billions of years ago. No trees, birds, or people. Only lava flows, acid rain, and endless oceans. But it was in these extreme conditions that something incredible was born: life. How did it happen? Are you ready to travel back in time and discover the most mysterious secret of our planet? Let's get started. The Big Bang, the start of all starts. First, a small remark. Life on Earth began for a reason. It all started with the Big Bang about 13.8 billion years ago. It was then that our universe appeared: stars, galaxies, and, of course, the materials that became the basis for the Earth. Our planet was formed about 4.5 billion years ago, and originally it was a real infernal cauldron. When the oceans became the soup of life. Several hundred million years after the Earth's formation, the planet began to cool. The water vapor formed from numerous volcanoes turned into rain that lasted millions of years. This is how the first oceans were formed. And here in these oceans something interesting happened. There, the so-called original soup was cooked, a mixture of water, gases, and minerals. But why is it important? Because it was in such an environment that the first organic molecules appeared, the basis for life. Experiment with lightning. In 1953, two scientists, Stanley Miller and Harold Urey, decided to recreate these conditions in the laboratory. They took water, methane, ammonia, and hydrogen, and then ran an electric current through them, something like lightning. And you know what happened? Amino acids were formed, bricks of life. Such lightning could be catalysts in the ancient oceans, triggering processes that led to the emergence of life. First cell, evolutionary breakthrough. Now to the most interesting: how did the first living organisms form? It is believed that simple molecules eventually formed more complex ones. They could combine into membranes that created structures similar to cells. The first cell that can be considered alive was created about 3.5 billion years ago. It was very primitive, but it had one important property: it could reproduce. Thus began the long path of evolution. Evolution, from bacteria to dinosaurs. The first organisms were very simple, similar to modern bacteria. They lived in the oceans and gradually developed new opportunities. One of the key points was the emergence of photosynthesis, the process by which organisms began to secrete oxygen. Oxygen changed everything. Over time, its concentration in the atmosphere increased, which created the conditions for more complex forms of life. Algae, the first fish, amphibians, all this appeared gradually, over hundreds of millions of years. In the beginning, the Earth did not have an ozone layer, so the planet's surface was deadly due to harsh ultraviolet radiation. It was the oceans that could become the safety cover where the first living organisms got a chance to survive. Volcanic springs are another possible birthplace of life. Some scientists believe that life may have begun near hydrothermal springs at the bottom of the ocean. There, hot water, rich in minerals, mixed with cold water, creating ideal conditions for the formation of complex organic molecules. The moon could have helped create life. The moon is believed to have stabilized the tilt of the Earth's axis, which contributed to the creation of a more stable climate. In addition, its gravity caused tides that could mix the primitive oceans, contributing to chemical reactions. Life could have come from space. There is a panspermia theory that life or its foundations could get to Earth with meteorites or comets. Organic molecules have been found on some cosmic bodies, which makes this idea very interesting. Oxygen apocalypse was a turning point. About 2.5 billion years ago, cyanobacteria began to produce oxygen through photosynthesis. This caused the mass extinction of many organisms that could not live in oxygen conditions, but gave the start to the emergence of complex life. Conclusion: we are part of a great story. Imagine, everything you see around you, trees, flowers, animals, and even yourself, has its origin in that primitive soup of life. We are part of this amazing story that lasts billions of years.